Do you ever feel like at times with life that it's just kind of going to hell in a handbasket? Everything around you really just seems to be crumbling. You just want to kind of crawl in a hole and just hide. I mean, everywhere you look, everywhere you turn, every email that you get, every phone call that comes your way, it seems like the enemy is winning, and that the enemy's taking a deeper foothold, maybe within your life, with those around you. It just seems to be crashing and burning. We all have those times in our life. I have them. It seems like there's a rhythm to them at times where you just feel like you want to give up. You just want to crawl in a hole. You just realize that you can't do it. There's no way you can make it better. There's a couple of things I think that we can recognize and realize during those moments, during those periods within our life. I think the first thing is this, is we have to realize, not just in our minds but in our hearts, and just force ourselves to remember that the enemy has been defeated. That the enemy that's seeking to have a foothold in our lives and the lives of those around us is a defeated enemy. And that this enemy is no match for God. I mean, it's like an ant in me. I mean, me and an ant, I'm going to destroy that ant every single time. The enemy is defeated. And the enemy is no match for God. And that ultimately, God will have the final say. So at times when it feels like everything around us is crashing and burning, we just want to crawl in a hole, just forget it all, it helps me to remember that God's going to have the final say. Even though it may not seem like it at the moment, that He will have the final say because He has the victory. And the enemy that's seeking to disrupt my life is a defeated enemy. I think the other thing to recognize, the other thing that really helps me gain a proper perspective, is to realize that in these moments when life is really just a struggle, when things seem to be going wrong all around us, that it becomes an invitation to call upon God's power to be revealed in that situation. It's an invitation to call upon God and God's power, His victory, to push back against the enemy. To push back against the enemy's foothold within our life, and for His kingdom to break through. And I just got to tell you, it's been my experience that the times and the periods in my life when it seems like everything was crashing and burning, the times in my life when I've been forced to realize that I can't do it on my own, but I've got to rely upon God and to rely on His power to be revealed, to rely on Him to push back against the enemy, to relieve some of that pressure. It's been those moments that I've experienced the most breakthrough of growth in my life. And so I just want to encourage you today that as tough as life can be, and as much as it can feel like it's crumbling all around you, and as much as you feel the temptation just to kind of crawl in a hole and forget it all, I want to encourage you, one, that God will have the final say, and that ultimately it's those moments, as tough as they are, when God's kingdom and His breakthrough in your life is wanting to happen in a way that it can produce some of the most growth that you will ever experience in your life. In many ways, these times of struggle and pressure is often the greatest invitation for victory. I hope that resonates with you today, and maybe be something that you can take with you. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Peace.